Thanks, Jody. Good morning, everyone. Alleged anti-gentrification extremists claim they are responsible for Wednesday's early morning house fire in East Vancouver. Flames destroyed this home under construction at Victoria Drive and East 1st Avenue and damaged a neighboring property. Police now think it was deliberately set. It's believed, but not confirmed, anti-gentrification activists emailed a local news station and also posted online bragging about setting the fire. This is what the scene looks like this morning. Someone has spray painted "We'll be back" on a porta potty on the property. A guard is now on scene 24 hours a day. The city of Port Coquitlam is warning its residents to use caution around the Fraser River these days. With more on why, Greg Harper joins us live along the banks of the Fraser with more. Greg.
Kyle, we're in a beautiful spot in Port Coquitlam this morning. This is Citadel Landing Park. The Fraser River is beside us here this morning, and you could see how quickly it's moving as debris flows past us here this morning. There is a high stream flow advisory in effect for the lower Fraser right now. This was issued by the BC River Forecast Center. This means water levels are rising, are expected to rise rapidly, and the current is moving faster than normal. Because of this, the city of Port Coquitlam is asking residents to use extreme caution along the river for the time being. A large portion of Port Coquitlam is in the Fraser River floodplain. The city did raise its dikes back in 2007. The good news here is that no major flooding is expected, but some minor flooding is possible in the lower lying areas. Cooler temperatures and no rain will certainly help matters here. Kyle?
Thanks for that. Greg Harper live this morning in Port Coquitlam. The body of a second young man has been pulled from the waters of Golden Ears Park. The 22-year-old died along with an 18-year-old friend when they hopped into a creek last Friday. The younger victim was found immediately, but the recovery effort for the second was delayed because of dangerous water conditions. Authorities have yet to release the names of the two young men. The Liberals still haven't decided where Premier Christy Clark will run in a by-election to gain a seat in the BC legislature. Clark says the stunning party victory didn't come as a surprise to her.
The polls do not tell us how people are going to vote.
Christy Clark says she sensed a change in momentum after the televised leaders debate, and she believes Adrian Dix's flip-flop on the Kinder Morgan pipeline contributed to the turnaround. Although Clark lost her own seat, she's happy to have won a majority to lead her own team of 25 re-elected incumbents and 25 brand-new Liberal MLAs. Clark wouldn't say which member of her caucus will be asked to step aside so she can call a by-election and run in the riding.
What an incredible group, the energy that they're going to bring. 25 brand new MLAs coming into government. I don't know when that has happened in the past, except when there's, for an incumbent government. So I think that it's going to mean we are really able to renew and bring some fresh eyes to government in British Columbia.
Meanwhile, NDP leader Adrian Dix did not speak to the media yesterday. Some have wondered whether he will lead the party into the 2017 provincial election. But it seems there are lots of other issues to consider as New Democrats digest their loss. For now, the big question is, how did the NDP squander what seemed like a healthy lead in public support?
Other than the media, nobody's asked me or raised the question of leadership. And we don't have an 801 club in our party. So I don't think that's the issue.
All right, we heard him sing in space, and now we are going to hear him speak on Earth. We're going to give you a live look right now from Houston, Texas. And this is Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield speaking for the very first time since returning to Earth on Monday night. He was speaking in French, but I think he's now switched to English. So let's listen in for a second.
Do somersaults where you can move a refrigerator around with your fingertips and never worrying about which way was up. Well, all that suddenly changed when our Soyuz slammed back into the Earth, and my body is catching up with the change. And so the symptoms are dizziness. As it's sort of like when you come off a ride at the CNE or something, and your inner ear and your eyes are telling you different things. So I have dizziness. Also, my body is not really remembered very well how to get the blood back up to my head. And so underneath my clothing, I've been wearing a G suit to sort of like holding the bottom of a balloon to squeeze the blood up into my head. And I haven't held my head up for 5 months. And so my neck is sore and my back is sore. It's just, it feels like I played a hard game of rugby yesterday or played full contact hockey yesterday, and I haven't played in a while. My body's just sore and I'm dizzy. But it's getting better measurably by the hour. And I was talking to to my flight surgeon and folks here, it does feel, I think, like maybe, and Tom Marshburn, he's my crewmate, he and I are sort of tottering around like two old duffers in an old folks home. And it did occur to me.
Listening to live coverage right now here of Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield, just answering questions for about the next hour or so. So we'll pop into this a bit later on this hour and hear more of what he had to say. But looks as though he's nursing a bit of a sore neck and some sore muscles as he gets used to being back on Earth with gravity. Michelle.